Everyone's asking why. The world keeps spinning, no one seems to care. Lost in the noise, a silent prayer. Does anyone out there even hear the cry? I'm just a voice in the wind, but I'll keep on screaming, 'cause someone's missing. I won't stop dreaming.
Hello, hello. How are we today? All right. Since I was informed that I do not greet my chat, I will go through all of this. I I try. I get a little nervous on here, but today I'm just going to kind of go with the flow because it's just one of them damn days. So y'all might see a different side of me. I'm sorry if you do. Sometimes you just don't have a good day. I did find out that a dear friend lost their father on my birthday, so that made it a little bit hard, and I'm asking for prayers for them. It's not my information to give out, but it is someone on YouTube, and I just ask that you pray for this person for strength because we all know losing a parent can just destroy a person. So I do ask for just even if you don't pray, maybe just think about it just for a minute. Okay. So what we're gonna do, I was gonna greet. See, I'm everywhere today, guys. Okay. Welcome, Fox, Dago. We have Sassy Cassie. Sassy Cassie, I may need you up here. I'm a little sassy myself. Welcome, Butterfly Kisses. Lisa, hello. Tomboy Charm, be safe driving. I know you're playing taxi cab today. Molly. Welcome, Molly. I'm happy to see you here today. Kimber, of course. Hello, Kimber. Welcome. Stormy. Hey, Stormy. Thank you for joining us. We have down here at the bottom, guys. I'm trying to catch up. Oh, welcome, Chris. Thank you for joining me today. We have Paula. Thank you for joining us, Paula. If you haven't checked out Paula's channel, please do. She gives us a little morning short every morning. It makes my day. As soon as I wake up, I look every morning for her little shorts. She's always positive, always putting out positive vibes. Paula, we love you. Thank you for joining us today. Um, let's see. We have Okay, so Duolingo is a app owner of iOS or Android. It's the Duolingo app that will teach your children how to speak different languages. It's free. It's like he makes it a game. But him and his son is joining us today. They're not here to promote their app or anything like that, but the fact that they're here to support me is amazing. So thank you so much, Duolingo's kid and grandpa there. Um, who else? That might be it. I know I'm missing people. Oh, there's Dexter Theory. Thank you, Dexter Theory, for joining me today. Wild Hair. Oh, I bet you're sassy. Wild Hair gives me a sassy. That sounds sassy. Wild Hair. Thank you for joining us, Wild Hair. There we have Duolingo's kid. We have the Landers, which is Spanky's parents. Thank you for joining us. She always calls me Sweetheart Doodle. Thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for joining me this today. I want to say this morning because it's usually morning. We have Lippy Chicken. Hello, Lippy Chicken. Thank you. Willie, thank you for joining us. Did you know is joining us? DBF is here today. Toe Jamie, Lazy Limbo. Thanks, guys, for joining me. All right. So what I want to do is I kind of want to start where I'm not going to do my normal thing and read flyers. I went through and I listened and I can see that, I'm reading flyers as fast as I can and I'm putting them out as fast as I can. When in all actuality, I need to slow down, kind of focus on each one a little more. So today's going to be a little bit different. Instead of flyers, we have a few cases. I'm going to play a few videos, but I'm going to start with Vladik. He just I don't know, for the past week, I've just thought about him nonstop and his sister Bethany. So we're gonna start with him. So let me add this to stage. But before I because this is gonna be a little video, but before oh sorry. Let me go back. Okay. So before I play this, I want to read his flyer, which it should have showed it. There it is. All right. So Brian Vladeck Castle has been missing from East Orlando, Florida since November of 2021. He is a Marine. He has an honorable discharge. Brian, who often goes by Vladeck, was last seen on CCTV body cam footage at Foxtail Coffee Company on University Boulevard in Orlando, Florida on 11/6 of 2021. He was last reported sighting encounter with Vladeck was at his apartment complex, the place of Alafaya, on 11/15/21. There's been no reported sighting since that time. If you share this flyer, I just ask that you please use the hashtag find Vladeck or Team Vladeck. It does make a difference. If you have any information about his whereabouts at all, you can contact the Orange County Sheriff's Office at 407-254-7000, or you can make it even easier and just dial 911. And if you have to have a case number, it's on the flyer, and that is 21-83864. And then I will go ahead and play this video and put myself on mute, and then I'll be right back.
Brian Vladeck Hassel, a young man who served his country with honor as a United States Marine, vanished without a trace. It was November 2021, in the bustling city of Orlando, Florida, near the University of Central Florida. This vibrant young man, just 25 years old, disappeared into thin air, leaving behind a haunting question. What happened to Brian Hassel? Brian wasn't the kind of person to just disappear. He was a dedicated Marine, someone who understood the value of commitment and loyalty. He had a family who loved him, friends who cherished him. His disappearance defied all logic, leaving a gaping hole in the lives of those who knew him best. The days that followed Brian's disappearance were a blur of confusion and fear. Friends and family frantically searched, their hearts pounding with each passing hour. Flyers with Brian's picture were plastered across the city, a desperate plea for information etched on every face. The nightmare had just begun, a relentless search for answers in a city that seemed to have swallowed their beloved Brian whole. Time, a relentless tide, marched on. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Yet the search for Brian never wavered, fueled by unwavering love and a refusal to give up hope. Brian's family, their hearts heavy with grief, refused to let his memory fade. They organized searches, distributed flyers, and held vigils, their voices hoarse from pleading for any scrap of information that could lead them to their beloved Brian. Their pain was palpable, a raw and agonizing reminder of the void left by Brian's absence. Their determination, however, was a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of love and family. Year after year, they kept Brian's memory alive, holding on to the belief that one day they would find the answers they so desperately sought. The last confirmed sighting of Brian was on November 6, 2021. He was escorted out of Foxtail Coffee Company by police, the incident captured on chilling CCTV footage. What led to this encounter remains unclear, adding another layer of mystery to Brian's disappearance. Prior to that, on November 5th, he was seen near his home, his presence a fleeting moment of normalcy before the darkness descended. There were whispers, rumors, and possible sightings, a glimmer of hope at the place at Alafaya Apartments on November 15th. Each potential lead, a lifeline in a sea of despair, was meticulously investigated, only to leave behind more questions, more dead ends. The city, once a place of familiarity, transformed into a labyrinth of shadows, each corner holding the possibility of answers, yet yielding nothing but agonizing silence. Brian's last known movements, fragmented pieces of a shattered puzzle, painted a picture of a young man seemingly lost and confused. But what truly transpired during those final days remains a haunting enigma. The pain of not knowing, of being suspended in a state of perpetual uncertainty, gnawed at the very core of Brian's family. Cheryl, Brian's mother, clung to hope with the tenacity of a mother's love, her heart refusing to accept the possibility that her son was truly gone. "We just want him home," she'd say, her voice cracking with emotion, her eyes reflecting the depth of her pain. "Someone out there knows something. Please, if you have any information, no matter how small, please come forward." Steve, Brian's father, grappled with a whirlwind of emotions, confusion, anger, and a bone-deep sorrow that threatened to consume him. The silence was deafening, the lack of answers unbearable. Why hasn't he reached out, he'd ask, his voice heavy with despair. He knows we love him, that we just want him safe. The Orange County Sheriff's Office launched an investigation into Brian's disappearance. They followed every lead, however faint, and interviewed potential witnesses. Yet, despite their best efforts, the case remained unsolved. Years later, a new deputy was assigned to the case, bringing a fresh perspective and renewed determination to uncover the truth. The investigation, though fraught with challenges, was far from cold. The police remained committed to finding Brian, to providing his family with the answers they so desperately craved. They knew that somewhere out there, someone held the key to unraveling this mystery. The public was urged to come forward with any information, no matter how insignificant it may seem. Every detail, every observation could be a piece of the puzzle that brings Brian home. Section 6. A community rallies, united in hope. The disappearance of Brian Hassel sent shockwaves through the Orlando community. People who had never met Brian were moved by his story, their hearts touched by the plight of his family. They rallied around the Hasels, offering support, prayers, and a shoulder to cry on. They participated in searches, distributed flyers, and kept Brian's story alive on social media, using the hashtag #FindVladek. Notable figures like Nicole Schmidt, the mother of Gabby Petito, a young woman whose tragic disappearance captivated the nation, reached out to the Hasels, offering words of comfort and understanding. The outpouring of support, a testament to the inherent goodness in people, provided a glimmer of light in an otherwise dark and uncertain time. It was a powerful reminder that even in the face of tragedy, hope and compassion can prevail. Section 7. Finding solace in faith. Brian's quiet strength. Brian was a man of quiet strength, his faith a source of comfort and guidance. He found solace in the serenity of St. Joseph's Catholic Church prayer garden, often spending hours lost in the pages of his Bible. It was there, amidst the tranquil beauty of nature and the sanctity of his faith, that Brian found peace. It was a place where he could connect with something larger than himself, a place where he could simply be. Those who knew Brian best often found themselves drawn to the tranquility of the prayer garden, seeking solace in the same space that brought him comfort. It was a tangible reminder of his presence, a place where they could feel close to him even in his absence. Section 8. The power of information. Every detail counts. In the search for Brian, every detail, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, could be a vital piece of the puzzle. The smallest bit of information could be the key to unlocking the mystery of his disappearance. Did you see Brian in the days leading up to November 6, 2021? Did you notice anything unusual or out of place? Do you have any information about his routines, his habits, or the people he interacted with? No detail is too small, no piece of information insignificant. If you have any information at all, please come forward and share it with the authorities. Your courage could be the key to bringing Brian home. Section 9. Keep the flame of hope alive. Bring Brian home. The disappearance of Brian Vladek Hassel remains an open wound, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the desperate need for answers. Yet even in the face of this tragedy, the flame of hope continues to burn brightly. We must never stop searching for Brian. We must never stop demanding answers. We must never allow his story to fade into obscurity. Please, if you have any information about Brian's disappearance, do not hesitate. Contact the Orange County Sheriff's Office at 407-836-4357. Your call could be the one that brings Brian home to his family, to the people who love him most.
Just don't smile. Don't laugh. Don't smile. Don't shake.
Smile, come on. Like, smile a little bit, camera.
Will you please? Just don't smile. Don't laugh. Don't smile. Don't shake.
Smile, come on. Like, smile a little bit, camera. Okay. If that little video didn't give you a little bit of emotion, you're probably not for true crime. That right there will bring tears to my eyes every time. That little grin, it just gets me every minute. So please, if you have any information about Vladek, if you think you might have saw him, you don't know, just call that in. It could mean everything. It really could. And his sister, yes, mom, Bethany is a warrior. She has not given up one day, not one. She fights every single day, and I admire her. I do. I really do. Okay. So before I get in all my emotions and all that girl stuff, I will shut up and we will move on to Missing Sarah and Jacob Hoggle. Now, this one is a little different. I am going to have to, I won't be able to see chat for just a minute because I'll have to read this from the other side. Let me know if sound is okay. Can you guys hear me okay still? All right. So these are their age progressed photos. They've been missing for quite a while. You'll figure that out as soon as I start reading. You can see what they look like when they went missing, and then you can see that they're age progressed photos here. On September 7th, 2024 marks the 10th anniversary of the disappearance of Sarah and Jacob Hoggle, who were just 3 and 2 years old when they vanished from their hometown in Montgomery County, Maryland. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has released new age progression image of the siblings, offering a glimpse of what they may look like today at ages 13 and 12. Their father, Troy Turner, has never given up hope in bringing his children home. Sarah and Jacob were last seen in the care of their mother, Catherine Hoggle. On Labor Day weekend 2014, Catherine told Troy she dropped the children off at daycare, but when it was time to pick them up, Troy said she couldn't tell him where they were. After hours of driving from place to place searching for Sarah and Jacob, Troy said he and Catherine stopped at a fast food restaurant. While he waited in the car, Catherine went inside, then slipped out the back door. Troy said when he realized she had taken off, he called the police and he reported all 3 of them missing: Catherine, Sarah, and Jacob. Several days later, Catherine was found wandering the streets of Germantown, Maryland. Police arrested her. The children were nowhere to be found and are still missing today. Even though the children are still missing, their mother was charged with murder, but a judge found her not competent to stand trial and ordered her to a maximum security psychiatric hospital where she remains today. She still claims her children are safe. I use quotes when I say safe. For the past 10 years, the focus has been on her and whether she was competent to stand trial, said Troy. I want the focus to be put back on finding my children. It's definitely time to have some movement in this case. If someone knows anything, if anyone saw anything, it's time to come forward. It's past time. Please take a look again at their age progressed photos. They are absolutely very adorable children. These are faces that I would recognize for sure. And now that you just take a good look at their little smiles, their eyes, please see something about them that you would recognize if you saw them out and about. John Bischoff, who oversees our missing children division, said NCMEC will never stop looking for Sarah and Jacob. 10 seconds of not knowing where your children are is too long, let alone 10 years. As age progression revigorates the community and lets them know that a child is still missing, NCMEC is an organization based on hope that all missing children will come home one day. We will continue to provide any and all resources to law enforcement and to the family until Sarah and Jacob are found. If you have any information about the Hoggle children, please call NCMEC at 1-800-843-5688 or Montgomery County Police at 301-279-8000. View Sarah and Jacob's missing posters here, which when you go to that, it originally takes you to the very first poster. But I thought that was very important to go over. They have been missing for 10 years. They definitely deserve to come home for sure. I think I had a little news article. Actually, I may not have that now. I thought I did. Okay, give me just a moment. I'll see if I can find that again. Yep, here we go. This is their news press conference. Let's see. I have this right before I start it. Yep. Okay. Oh,
We have 5 years. That's the bottom line. I want to. I'm going to ask you to hold your questions for a second. I want to. I want to thank Troy. Troy's here today, and we've gotten to know each other over the last 5.5 years, and we talk regularly. I am proud to stand with him. My sympathies and the sympathies of my office go to Troy for the courage that he's shown through this. He was allowed to speak in court today. I thought he did a magnificent job, and I want to thank him. And I will tell you that there were some comments made, and he would say this for himself, some comments made about some of the things he did when his children first went missing. Let me tell you, he's proud of what he did. And anybody who's a father who lost their child under similar circumstances would have done and said what Troy did. He held out hope until he what it. But I want to thank him for being here. I want to thank him for his courage in speaking today. And ladies and gentlemen, Troy Turner.
I mean, I guess what he was referring to is the statements I made have been brought up about looking for my children, holding out hope, believing they're alive. In the beginning, whenever the police turned to a homicide investigation, I had mentioned that my job as a father was to continue to believe in my kids and look for them. And that's what I did. And I still believe that was my job at that point. I stood here before you about 2 years ago, and I told you that through the passage of time and just through logical reasoning, I had to come to the conclusion that my kids, there's no logical way that they're alive. The fact that, you would have people who would say, maybe she put them into some network. Maybe they're in Mexico. She, as I've said in the past, she couldn't get herself out of a 4-block radius in 5 days. It's not logical. There's nothing logical except for what I stood here and said before you about 3 years ago. Or 2 years ago now, I guess, actually. I don't know if there's any questions for me or not. What I can say is I feel like so far Judge Greenberg has seemed to be very fair, and I would like to just publicly thank him for allowing me to speak today and for hearing me out.
What's your reaction to the lack of decision today?
I don't look at it as a lack. I look at it as more of, I guess, putting the decision and making sure that we all understand it, because I think that the judge realizes how serious this is. I think he realizes, the impact on the community, and I think he wants to make sure that his decision is understood.
Okay, Scott Broom, Channel 9. I'll recognize you. Please hold up your hand and we'll come around.
So I get you to reflect on a couple of things you said in court. Justice system's failing my children, gross injustice. Sarah and Shaker were 2 human beings and not just a story. I think you want the judge to know that.
Yes.
Tell us about those statements and why you felt this way.
I feel like the fact that it can be a compelling story of what's happened, how a lot of people can be confused by it, and there's been a lot of kind of, I don't know if you want to call it twists or whatever. I feel like the fact that it's 2 human beings, 2 tiny, small human beings, my children that were taken from me, gets kind of lost in what the storyline could be. And then, like I said in there, like some refer to this as a mystery. There's really no mystery. Chicago planned and carried out her plan to murder my children.
Jordan Lindsay.
You said this is the first time Sarah and Jacob had a relation in court. Tell me how it felt to see that.
In some ways it felt very heavy. In other ways it felt like I was in some way freeing parts of them. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's almost easier to describe what it felt like sitting there not hearing their name for the last 5 years, and people acting like it honestly, I mean, as far as Catherine goes, she doesn't really matter in this. The problem is in the system, my kids are what doesn't matter. And that's who it should be about. It should be about protecting the children. It should be about, protecting victims. It should be about the victims' rights, not the people who are portraying the crimes against them.
Kevin Lewis, ABC7.
Actually received that in the courtroom today. That we've seen in the courtroom before, but you feel any differently today?
It's amazing what you can get used to, man. Here's what I will say. What I did see was this, actually, and the way that she was looking at me, and even at times moving her mouth whenever I was speaking about what she's done, she was reacting as someone who seemed pretty confident and understood everything. I don't know if anyone was in the room whenever I was talking, but she won her acting that.
Okay, any questions for State's Attorney John McCarthy? All right, Stephanie Ramirez, Channel 5.
Regroup and move forward. We do not give up on getting justice for my children, no matter what happens. That will never stop and my kids have until they're able to be buried, until the justice system works for them in some way, shape, or form. Nothing stops ever.
Darcy Spencer, ABC4.
The state's attorney again, like the same question, like what is next if this ruling comes out and the judge decides? Either way, but with
Right.
the possibility that he goes ahead, because he was talking about what happens next, the civil.
Well, I think there are various aspects. If depending upon what the judge rules, let me just say this. I don't think there's any likelihood that Ms. Hogwood will be free in the community. She's going to be involuntarily committed civilly if she doesn't continue to be held pursuant to order case. I will tell you that this is one of those circumstances where we have the right of appeal too. This is a statutory interpretation, so that the defendant has the opportunity to appeal whatever the ruling is, and so does the state. And I'm sure that whoever losing party, because this is a novel issue never decided before, they'll be noting an appeal, and we will be.
Okay.
Is there a timeline on this decision?
The judge has not. Look, it's clear to me that the judge had read much of the material that was being referenced in court today. And look, just knowing that the way this particular judge works, I'm sure that he's working on that opinion. It's not going to be today. I would be surprised if it was this week, but he's very diligent. I'm hoping maybe within the next week or two, we'll have an opinion from Greenberg. I'm sure he's diligently working on it already.
Mr. Felsen at the podium and come up here. But we asked him if charges are dismissed, the threat of her being convicted of murder, would she talk? And didn't say she would or wouldn't say his advice all along has been not because of her competency, not to put her in that position. Is there an opportunity here for her at some point, if the charges go away, that she gives the information to Troy and all of the supporters?
I really don't think I can answer the question you asked, because first of all, I'm not confident. I don't know what she's likely to do. Let me say this, however. The statute that we're dealing with here, if the charges are dismissed, the state has the right, without prejudice, to recharge her again. Even the criminal charges could come back again if her mental state improved, and we were to find out 6 months, 9 months, 2 years now that she had made some progress, became competent. We're allowed to legally bring the charges back. I don't know that we spoke about up there, but regardless, and again, I'm not prejudging what the court is going to do. I'm merely saying, as a matter of law, even if the judge discharges, she can actually take credit.
Ask you a hypothetical question. But Troy, I'm wondering, do you believe she has the answer? And regardless of what the doctors have found, competency-wise, could she resolve all of this?
She knows exactly what she's doing. Period. She planned it. She did it. She knows what she did. I spoke to her whenever for a long time to get her. She told me what she could. talk to people and call the state police and try to set me up to make it look like I was trying to threaten her and have them sitting there listening on speakerphone. So I mean, she knows exactly what she did.
And she could solve it.
Easily. There's nothing to solve. Like I said, it's not a mystery. We know what happened. It's just where she put them.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Little housekeeping for everybody over here. In case there were any inquiries to the bond review across the street for Sofia Negroponte, that hearing is ongoing. So she has not come up before the bond judge in 513. If you or your camera crew want to get comment later, we may be able to arrange for that. But there's no status on Sofia Negroponte. Get back in touch with me. Interested in that, have your desk call me or email me, and I'll make sure to give you the latest on that. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah, I'm the grandmother of Sarah and Jacob, and all I want to say is Catherine's case is being handled, but as far as Sarah and Jacob go, which were like my babies,
And they cut that off right there because I guess the grandmother got a little, well, she might have got a little bit Medea, and I can't blame her. She is the grandma. So saying that.
So you believe in getting even? Hell to the yeah. Somebody do something to me, I do something to them. This is common sense. So you believe in getting even? Hell to the yeah.
Checked her property for suspicious.
Oh, hold on. That is. Sorry, guys. That was. Hold on. I am so sorry. All right. That was not supposed to play. I'm so sorry, guys. Now, well, I will go back to where I started.
I do something to them. This is common sense. So you believe in getting even? Hell to the yeah.
Okay. So, with a little bit of that, now we're going to move on to Hayden. And Hayden Manis is still missing. So I'm going to add this and then I'll play a video right after. So here we go.
Indiana, his disappearance shrouded in mystery and the holiday season evokes feelings of warmth, joy, and togetherness. Families gather, sharing laughter and creating memories that will last a lifetime. But for the family of Hayden Manis, Christmas 2019 marked the beginning of a nightmare that continues to this day. 4.5-year-old Hayden vanished from his great-grandmother's home in Muncie, Indiana, his disappearance shrouded in mystery and heartbreak. Hayden, a bright and cheerful child, was last seen amidst the festive bustle of a family Christmas Eve gathering. Presents were being unwrapped, carols filled the air, and the aroma of holiday treats wafted through the house. In the midst of the celebration, little Hayden slipped away unnoticed, leaving behind a void that has haunted his family ever since. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the agonizing realization dawned that Hayden was not merely missing, he had vanished. The festive decorations were taken down, the joyous carols faded into silence, and the once bright home was cloaked in a pall of despair. The family's hope dwindled with each passing season, replaced by a gnawing fear that they might never know what happened to their precious. And the trail grew colder with each passing day. The family grappled with the agonizing unknown, clinging to the slimmest of hopes that Hayden was still alive somewhere out there. Hayden's early life was sadly marked by instability and hardship. His parents, Dustin Maness and Terry Williams, struggled with substance abuse, casting a shadow over their son's young life. Their struggles led to the heartbreaking decision to remove Hayden from their care in 2016, placing him in the custody of his paternal grandfather, Gary Maness. Gary, a loving and devoted grandfather, provided Hayden with a stable and nurturing home. He doted on his grandson, showering him with affection and providing him with the care and attention he desperately needed. Hayden thrived under his grandfather's care, his infectious laughter and bright smile a testament to the loving environment he now enjoyed. Despite the challenges they faced, Hayden's parents remained a presence in his life. Dustin, determined to overcome his demons and regain custody of his son, embarked on a journey of recovery. He diligently attended court-ordered probation and drug treatment programs, his love for Hayden fueling his desire for a fresh start. Terry, however, continued to struggle with her addiction. Her battle with substance abuse led to her incarceration in 2018, further complicating the already difficult situation. Hayden, caught in the crossfire of his parents' struggle, downwards. In 2018, Dustin's hard work and dedication paid off. He successfully completed his court-ordered programs and regained custody of Hayden. Filled with hope and determination, Dustin vowed to provide his son with the stability and love he deserved. Hayden's life seemed poised for a brighter chapter, his future filled with promise. Tragically, Dustin's newfound stability proved to be short-lived. He relapsed into his old habits, his addiction once again taking hold. The dark cloud of substance abuse returned to cast a shadow over Dustin's life, threatening to shatter the fragile peace he had built for himself and his son. As Dustin's addiction spiraled out of control, he began to construct a web of lies and deceit to conceal Hayden's disappearance. He told family members that Hayden was living with his mother, Terry, who was supposedly now clean and sober. This fabrication, a desperate attempt to deflect attention from himself, only served to deepen the mystery surrounding Hayden's whereabouts. Dustin's lies and evasions bought him some time, but his carefully constructed facade began to crumble. Family members, suspicious of his inconsistent stories and concerned about Hayden's well-being, started to ask difficult questions. Dustin's evasive answers only fueled their suspicions, leading them to believe that something was terribly wrong. In September 2024, almost 5 long years after Hayden's disappearance, the truth began to unravel. Family members, alarmed by Dustin's continued lies and the realization that they hadn't seen Hayden in years, contacted authorities to report him missing. The delayed report sent shockwaves through the community, raising more questions than answers. The Delaware County Sheriff's Department immediately launched an investigation into Hayden's disappearance. Detectives began retracing Hayden's last known steps, focusing on the Christmas Eve gathering where he was last seen. They conducted numerous interviews with family members, friends, and anyone who might have had contact with Hayden or Dustin in the intervening years. The investigation quickly zeroed in on Dustin as a person of interest. His history of drug abuse, coupled with his inconsistent stories and evasive behavior, raised red flags for investigators. As they delved deeper into Dustin's life, they uncovered a disturbing pattern of deceit and manipulation, further solidifying their suspicions. Armed with search warrants, investigators descended upon various locations in Eaton and Muncie, including a home on Nancy Lane where Dustin had resided. Cadaver dogs were brought in to scour the properties, their keen sense of smell offering a glimmer of hope in the search for answers. Section 5. Unraveling the truth. The investigation into Hayden's disappearance was hampered by the significant delay in reporting. Years had passed since he was last seen, making it incredibly difficult to gather reliable evidence or piece together a clear timeline of events. Precious time had been lost, time that could have been crucial in locating Hayden. Despite these challenges, investigators pressed on, determined to uncover the truth about Hayden's fate. They meticulously followed every lead, however tenuous, hoping to find a break in the case. The community, gripped by the heartbreaking story of the missing boy, rallied behind the investigators, offering support and sharing any information they thought might be helpful. As the investigation progressed, a disturbing picture began to emerge. Witnesses came forward with troubling accounts of Dustin's behavior in the years following Hayden's disappearance. His drug use had spiraled out of control and he had become increasingly erratic and unpredictable. Investigators discovered that Dustin had continued to spin his web of lies, even as the walls were closing in around him. He maintained that Hayden was safe and sound, living with his mother. However, his claims were contradicted by evidence and testimony, further solidifying the belief that he was responsible for Hayden's disappearance. In November 2024, a glimmer of hope emerged from the darkness. Dustin Maness was arrested on drug charges. The arrest, while unrelated to Hayden's disappearance, provided investigators with an opportunity to question him directly about his son's whereabouts. During his interrogation, Dustin remained evasive, clinging to his fabricated story about Hayden living with his mother. However, investigators, armed with months of evidence and witness testimony, refused to believe his lies. They pressed him for answers, determined to hold him accountable for his actions. Tragically, before Dustin could be compelled to reveal the truth about Hayden's fate, he died of a drug overdose in December 2024. His death, a grim reminder of the devastating consequences of addiction, left a void in the investigation and extinguished any hope of learning the truth from the one person who likely knew what happened to Hayden. The heartbreaking case of Hayden Maness serves as a stark reminder of the critical importance of promptly reporting missing children. The delay in reporting Hayden's disappearance significantly hampered the investigation, allowing precious time to slip away. Time that could have been used to gather evidence, interview witnesses, and potentially bring Hayden home safely. When a child goes missing, every second counts. The first 24 hours are particularly crucial, as the chances of finding a missing child alive decrease significantly with each passing hour. Timely reporting allows law enforcement to mobilize resources quickly, issue Amber Alerts, and engage the community in the search effort. In Hayden's case, the 5-year delay in reporting meant that potential witnesses may have moved away, memories may have faded, and evidence may have been lost or destroyed. The passage of time created a significant obstacle for investigators, making their already challenging task even more difficult. Despite Dustin Maness's death, the investigation into Hayden's disappearance remains active. The Delaware County Sheriff's Department, unwavering in their commitment to finding Hayden, continues to pursue every lead and follow every tip. They remain hopeful that someone, somewhere, holds the key to unlocking the mystery of what happened to Hayden. Authorities are urging anyone with information, no matter how seemingly insignificant, to come forward. Even the smallest detail could prove crucial in solving this heartbreaking case. No piece of information is too small, and even an anonymous tip could provide the breakthrough investigators desperately need. Hayden's case has touched the hearts of people across the country. His infectious smile and bright eyes have become a symbol of hope and a reminder of the importance of child safety. The community, united in their desire to bring Hayden home, continues to hold out hope that one day he will be reunited with his loved ones. The disappearance of Hayden Maness is a tragedy that has left an enduring scar on his family and the community. The pain of not knowing his fate is a heavy burden to bear, a constant reminder of the precious life that was lost. Despite the uncertainty and heartbreak, Hayden's family refuses to give up hope. They cling to the belief that one day, they will learn the truth about what happened to their beloved son and grandson. They draw strength from the support of the community and the tireless efforts of law enforcement, who remain dedicated to finding Hayden. Hayden's story serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of cherishing our loved ones and never taking a single moment for granted. It underscores the vital role that communities play in protecting their most vulnerable members and the unwavering spirit of hope that can emerge even in the darkest of times. If you have any information about the disappearance of Hayden Maness, please contact the Delaware County Sheriff's Investigations Division at 765-747-7881. No tip is too small, and your information could help bring Hayden home.
All right. So, with all of that, I will switch right on over and start reading a few flyers. That way I can still get my other missing people in here too. I won't be able to see chat for a minute, but I will come back and talk with you guys at the very end. All right. So we have Paloma from Frederick, Maryland. Last seen February 24th, 2025. She was 32 years old at the time of the disappearance, 5'3" and weighs 100 pounds. She was last seen leaving the 1500th block of Old Possum Town Pike in her 2017 white Ford Focus with Maryland tags 77D V93. If you have any information or you have seen Paloma and her vehicle, please contact the Frederick Police Department at 301 600 2102. Next, we have Nautica. She was found safe. Tanya Williams is missing from Center, Texas, last seen June 7th, 1983. She was 1 year old at the time of her disappearance, 2 foot tall, and weighed 30 pounds. Please take a good look at her age progressed photo. You never know if you may know her, you may see her, and she may not even know she's missing. It says Tanya was last seen in Center, Texas on June 7th. She was visiting her paternal parents at their home, half a mile down a dirt road off Highway 7, when she disappeared from their backyard at dusk, shortly right after 8 p.m. A neighbor stated she saw a light colored, luxury sized car with an opera window stop on the road around the time of Tanya's disappearance. A man got out of the car a few hours later after Tanya had been discovered missing. And while people were searching for her, the neighbor saw a similar car drive up the road, stop, turn around, and drive off quickly. It's unclear whether the vehicle had absolutely anything to do with Tanya's case. Her case remains unsolved. If you have any information about Tanya, please contact the Shelby County Sheriff's Office at 936 598 5601. We have Jason Pierce. He's missing from Phoenix, Arizona. Last seen April 15th, 1983. Please take a good look at this age progressed photo here. You can see with my cursor, I'm circling. He also may not know that he is missing. It says that Jason was last seen at his home in Phoenix, Arizona on April 15th, 1983. He was abducted by his non-custodial stepfather, John David Grooms. Grooms and Jason's mother, Napoleon Pierce, had met in January 1983 and married just 3 days later. Napoleon stated he was physically abusive towards both his stepsons and she was deadly afraid of him. In 1983, she was arrested twice for driving while intoxicated. When she was released from jail, she came home and found both Jason and Grooms missing. Grooms had left a note stating that she was an unfit parent and that he was taking Jason. He was indicted for felony custodial interference in June 1983. And when he was located in Durango, Colorado in January 1984, he was arrested. Jason wasn't with him at the time, and Grooms refuses to say where he is. If you have any information about Jason Pierce, please contact the Phoenix Police Department at 602 534 2121. Kylie was found safe. Adam, rest in peace. Desiree Carroll was missing from Texas, last seen March 23rd, 1983, 2 years old, 2'6" and 50 pounds at that time. Please take a good look at the age progressed photo. You never know, you may know her. Desiree was last seen near her family's residence a few miles southwest of Caussey, Texas on March 25th, 1983. Desiree's mother stated she dropped the children off at the lane leading to their house at 1 p.m., then drove away in her pickup truck. Desiree's older sister walked to the house and Desiree followed the truck. She disappeared a short time afterwards and has never been heard or seen again. She is presumed to have been abducted by a non-family member. Desiree has a dog bite scar under her left eye. Her nickname is Desi. If you have any information about Desiree, please contact the Limestone County Sheriff's Office at 254 729 3278. We have Sharon Cole. She's been missing since February 25th, 1983. She's 12 years old at the time of the disappearance, 5'6" and weighed 110 pounds. Again, please take a look at her age progressed photo, the small one on this flyer. You may know her. Try to remember anything about her face. Says she was last seen outside her family's residence on Edgecombe Avenue in the New York City borough of Manhattan at 5:30 p.m. on February 25th, 1983. She went out to play at a nearby park, never returned home, and has never been heard from again. Few details are available in her case. She may use the alternate birth date of October 8th, 1969, and her ears are both pierced. If you have any information about her, please contact the New York City Police at 212-694-7781. Daniel Naylor is missing from Fremont, California, last seen October 5th, 1982. He was 14 years old at the time of the disappearance, 5'9", and he weighed 140 pounds. Again, please take a look at the age progressed photo. Daniel disappeared from Fremont, California on October 5th, 1982. He rode his bicycle away from his home in anger after an argument with his parents that turned physical, and he has never returned. His bike was later found hidden in some bushes on the Alameda Creek Regional Trail near Alameda Creek. About a month after he disappeared, Daniel returned to his residence while everyone was out and took away all of his belongings, as well as $50 in cash. Authorities believe Daniel may have been met with foul play. It's very unusual for a runaway to be missing for decades without contacting anyone. You have any information about Daniel? Please contact the Fremont Police Department at 510-790-6800. We have Mindy Chambers. She's missing from Arizona, last seen October 19th, 1982. She was 17 years old at the time of her disappearance, 4'10" and 86 pounds. Please take a look at her age progressed photo, as that's probably what she may look like right now. Mindy was last seen in Arizona on October 19th, 1982. She left her home on the 2100th block of East University Avenue and walked her two stepsisters to school. When her stepsisters returned home, Mindy was gone and the front door was open. There were no indications of a struggle, and her purse, identification, and other belongings were left behind. The last person known to have seen Mindy was a clerk at the Circle K convenience store on the corner of University and Price. The clerk saw her make a phone call and leave. The clerk said a green and tan station wagon pulled into the parking lot, and the driver grabbed Mindy, pulled her into the vehicle, and they drove away. She has never been heard from again. Mindy had a prior orthodontic treatment. Her braces were removed in 1980. If you have any information about Mindy, please don't hesitate. Contact the Mesa Police Department at 480-644-2211. Move this out of the way. Pauline was found safe. Missing Brandy. Brandy's missing from California, last seen October 9th, 1982. She was 2 years old at the time of her disappearance, 2'6" and weighed 32 pounds. Again, there's her age progressed photo. Please take a good look. You may know her. She may not even know she's missing. Brandy was last seen in the Nipton, California on October 9th, 1982. Her mother went to work, leaving her in the care of her boyfriend, a 37-year-old male, David James Waters. Brandy's mother had been living with Waters for about 6 months by this time. When she returned home from work, both Brandy and Waters were gone. A stuffed teddy bear, a blue blanket, and an embroidered yellow duck in a multicolored patchwork blanket had also disappeared from the home. Authorities issued an arrest warrant for Waters and finally found him in a remote area near Blue Diamond, Nevada on January 3rd, 1983, but Brandy was not with him. She has never been heard from again. Brandy has a lazy right eye. She has a vertical scar on the right side of her upper lip and nose. If you have any information about Brandy, please don't hesitate to contact the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office at 909-387-3545. Benjamin Cannon is missing from Omaha, Nebraska. Last seen March 1995. He was 20 years old at the time of the disappearance, 6'2", and weighed 180 pounds at that time. Please take a look at this little photo. He may also look like this. Cannon was last seen at his residence in the 12,600th block of Weir Street in Omaha, Nebraska, sometime in March of 95. At the time of his disappearance, he was involved with the Rainbow Family, a nomadic religious group. He has not been heard from since. Cannon was not officially reported missing until May of 2004, due to law enforcement initially refusing to accept a report. If that's, let me read that again. He has not been heard from since. Cannon was officially reported missing on May 2004 due to law enforcement initially refusing to accept a report. That pisses me off. Few details are available regarding this case. He is a Caucasian male with dark brown hair and gray hazel eyes. At the time of his disappearance, his hair was buzzed with bangs. He has no tattoos, but his ears are pierced. He was known by the nickname Ben. If you have any information about Benjamin, you can call the Omaha Police Department. Not that they'll do much since it takes them forever to even take a missing persons report, but you can try. I would go ahead and dial 911, but you can call the police department at 402-444-5818. We have Samya Stevenson, missing from Queens, New York. She was last seen February 14th, 2025. She's 18 years old, 5'2", and weighs 142 pounds. She was last seen leaving the 113th Street at Liberty Avenue in Queens. She was being escorted by two men named Cash and Lloyd. It's possible she's currently in the Bronx. If you have any information about Samya, please contact the 106th Precinct at 718-845-2211. Okay, let me go back over here. And we will take that down. I'll have to play this again just because.
I do something to them. This is common sense. So you believe in getting even? Hell to the yeah.
Hell to the yeah. Just a minute, my dog's barking. I'm sorry. Hold on just a second. Okay, sorry, I apologize. Dog's barking at the boy. Okay, we'll play this just one more time.
Somebody do something to me, I do something to them. This is common sense. So you believe in getting even? Hell to the yeah.
Hell to the yeah.
Somebody do something to me.
All right, guys, let me finish up with chat here. Thank you for joining us, Barb. I think I missed you. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'd missed someone else too. Was it AR? Did I see AR in here? Thank you for joining us, AR. It's great to see you. If I missed anyone, I am so sorry. I know my dog is just a yapping. He's not going to shut up. Oh, Summer Thunder, thank you so much for joining. That's a new name for me today. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I think that's it, guys. Oh, Sunday Doodles. Thank you, Sunday Doodles, for joining. I appreciate you. All right, guys. Well, I will go ahead and end this. My hour is up, but I thank each and every one of you for joining me today. I know it's a little bit different than normal, but it's very important that we get these missing cases out as fast as we can. All right, guys. Well, I hope each of you have a wonderful day. And if you happen to see Hayden, any of these missing people that I've mentioned, please reach out, call 911. Don't be afraid, and you can give anonymous tips. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll get this outro out and leave you all alone for the next show.
Does anyone understand? Does anyone lend a hand? When the silence starts to bite, will you join me in this fight? Can you see them in your dreams? Can you hear their desperate screams? A heartbeat lost in the night. Oh, will you help me be their voice? In the darkness, let's rejoice, 'cause together we can shine.